Welcome to Meet Me at the Deli, a food advice podcast where the pickles and slaw are always free. I'm Liz.
And I'm Jeffrey. Every episode, we're answering your burning food and culinary questions, and we're sharing our stories and insights from years working in the industry and living in our self-made shtetl. Okay, so I had an experience. So we have a guest today, owner or founder of Edith's.
Elyssa Heller, so
Yeah.
excited.
And so I went to Edith's. I was inspired. I came off of a train off of at Moynihan Hall. I went down to the village, and I went to Edith's. I go, and it was a Saturday. This is the moment. Busy.
People are out.
Yeah.
Weekend.
So I'm waiting outside, and I ask a question or two, of the people working there, and there was a woman who was already waiting outside, and she said, "I'm just gonna follow your lead." She basically was saying, like, "Tell me what to order."
Yeah.
It reminded me of this moment that when we first connected working together back in 2011, when I was sitting at this counter at 2nd Avenue Deli, I was listening behind me to these men from, I think it was Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, I do. I remember. I know where you're going with this
And
story. I remember this.
These businessmen were holding menus, looking, they were clearly confused, and they were looking
lost
at what to order at the 2nd Avenue Deli.
Yeah.
And I interrupt and I say, "Excuse me, you should get the pastrami and a matzo ball soup." I mentioned the Cel-Ray, and they go and they say thank you. They go to sit down, and then a couple minutes later, I get a tap on my shoulder, and they say, "Excuse me, do you mind coming and sitting with us and ordering for us?" And it was so amazing that when we first sort of connected at the food world, I kind of said, "Is there a way to guide people through eating experiences?" And so I love that this just yesterday I got to do that again. So Elyssa, you might not remember the last time I saw you, but I remember the last time I saw you, and it was a very special day.
No, I remember.
Oh, do you know
What was it?
Jewish Christmas.
Yes.
Oh.
It was Wonton cake.
Uh-huh.
Of course. It's like the best night of the year.
The holiest day of the year.
Yeah, it's super
Is it Christmas Eve? Is that when you guys go? You both? Yeah, I know you go.
No, it's a
I know.
really good question.
But I
So
didn't know if it's Christmas or Christmas Eve.
My personal practice used to be Christmas Eve, but I've transitioned now to more of a Christmas Day. And that was
We went Christmas Day.
that was a Christmas, I think it was a Christmas Day.
Did you go Christmas Day?
I don't remember. I do remember something through that. I think this was Christmas Eve though, because something threw off my Christmas Day, so I had to go Christmas Eve, and which is maybe why we bumped into each other. So I was going against my preference.
Yeah, I was invited to go with some friends in New York, and being from Chicago, it was surprising to me that now I'd been in New York for June will be 15 years for me. And I had still never done the whole, like, go to a Chinese food, like, restaurant on Christmas or Christmas Eve and do the whole, like, New York Jewish Christmas handshake thing. And I did it last year, and it was the best night of my life. And then I did it again this year, and I saw you.
Wait. Just very quickly,
okay.
very
Like,
quickly,
a lot.
just tell us what's like a sandwich creation that you're most proud of. That you
Oh,
made?
good point. Good point. Yeah.
The sandwich that I'm really proud of our proteins because we make them all ourselves, which is a real labor of love, but deli turkey normally freaks me out. So I was like, we have to do this better. And I'm really proud of, I would say, our Sephardi wrap. It's like our best-selling breakfast sandwich.
Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, it's our breakfast wrap. We have two types of breakfast sandwiches at Edith. We do them on bagels, and then we also have our breakfast wraps. They're on malawa, which is a Yemenite Jewish bread. They're flaky. They're very similar to a scallion pancake without the scallions, if you need like a visual reference. We do the Sephardi wrap, and we call it the Sephardi wrap because it's kind of an ode to Sephardic food. And malawach is actually Mizrahi. We make a chicken sausage in-house that's Portuguese in style. I'm going to butcher it, but it's called an alhira sausage. And when Jews were fleeing Spain during the Spanish Inquisition, a lot of them fled to Portugal. And there's a story about a lot of Jews hiding and learning how to be butchers. As you know, we used to and continue to still be in a lot of different trades. And that was like a very common way to make a fresh start. And Jewish butchers wouldn't butcher pork. They would butcher chickens, and we kind of thought, or I thought that was like a really cool story. and one that we could kind of tell through food in like a little bit of a cheeky way. So we turned it into a breakfast sandwich. Yeah, it's our #1 best-selling sandwich. That and our bacon, egg, and cheese latke, which I guess I'm also proud of because that's my it's like my love letter to New York. But yeah, the Sephardi breakfast wrap tells a really interesting story of Jewish food and like the Jewish people through food. It has pickled Fresno chili peppers on top, harissa aioli. So it's kind of got this like a little citrusy element because we actually put preserved lemon in the harissa aioli. But yeah, it's a really unique one. And listening to so many people come in and order it is a really cool experience, just to be like, wow, it's something that I could have never like had growing up. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm proud to share the story with people today. So, and it's really good.
Why is Jewish food so unhealthy? We all know that the foods we eat now that are these Jewish foods, these foods are, when do we eat them? We eat them primarily on the holidays. They are the foods that you're preparing for your Passover table where you're roasting a big brisket, right? They're the foods that you go out to the Jewish deli. So I just think part of this is that the foods that we associate, or maybe that Hadass is associating with Jewish foods, are not everyday foods. And they are inherently less healthy as the non-everyday foods.
Most of what people think of is unhealthy is actually the Americanized version of the Eastern European shtetl foods. What did people eat in the shtetl? Probably, what was the most common snack? I mean, I don't know if it was the most common, but a common snack reading through Yiddish literature is a radish and a little bit of schmaltz on it.
Delicious.
Did a hot pastrami sandwich on rye exist in the old country? No.
No.
It's a modern invention. If you did have pastrami, you most likely lived in Romania. You had, a cold cured meat made from goose, likely, maybe lamb if you were in the Jewish community. You had that once in a while on a little charcuterie board. I mean, maybe it wasn't a charcuterie board, but you had,
Maybe not a charcuterie board.
you had it, served to you on a special occasion, like
Yes.
you mentioned. The idea of eating a giant sandwich that you have to unlock your jaw to eat, this was a celebration of American excess.
Earlier today, I was at a Jewish children's cooking activity. At the entrance, there's name tags and stuff and welcome. And next to the name tag station is a basket of buttons. They are Dr. Brown's soda buttons. I approached the person who made the pins and I said, tell me about why you chose these flavors.
Yeah.
And they were like, we were working with the designer and these were their favorite flavors or whatever. And I was like, talk to me about Cel-Ray. Why isn't there a Cel-Ray? And what they said is that they knew how controversial Cel-Ray was.
What's controversial about it?
That people
don't like
either love it or they hate it, and they have very strong feelings. And they specifically did not want to make a Cel-Ray pin, thinking it would either be like the first to go or people would not take them.
I just think for those who do not know, Cel-Ray is the celery seed soda.
Okay, but when you say it like that, it sounds polarizing.
That is also
it is polarizing.
incredible. It is incredible.
But we have about 60 people that work at Edith's now.
Wow.
Not one of them has tried Cel-Ray soda until they came to work. I swear. Once I describe it as the ancestor beverage of ginger ale, they're like,
wow.
it puts a different mental framework there.
The ancestor beverage of ginger ale.
I don't know if that's true,
Damn.
but in my mind it's true because it feels like it would be true. And then I stand on it and I make it true. And I think every single person that has tried it, knowing that beforehand, likes it.
Take our answers out into your life and bring us back the leftovers.
This has been a He Media podcast.